The government continues on a strong path to provide for and to safeguard the rights of vulnerable Jamaicans through major investments in and partnerships to modernize our social protection systems.
Several interventions are being made by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security to secure adequate social protection for the vulnerable. Among them is improved benefits for pensioners under the National Insurance Scheme NIS next year. The Minister, Carl Samuda, says recommendations from the 2019 actuarial review were delayed by the pandemic, but both 2019 and 2022 reports will be completed by early next year. Amendments made in 2021 to the National Insurance Act addressed increases in the insurable ceiling as well as contribution rates. The NIS is also continuing efforts to transition the outstanding 33% of local pensioners to electronic payments, with 2/3 of them already getting their pensions directly disbursed into their bank accounts.
Everything in the Ministry of Labour in short order will be digitized and electronically dealt with.
To ensure the sustainability of the National Insurance Fund NIF, a new and more robust organizational structure and investments policy will be implemented. A final report of the NIF Investment Management Review Commission will guide this process.
This new structure and investment policy is expected to maximize rates of return while minimizing risk, generate strong cash flows to meet current obligations, and facilitate reinvestment, and to provide a hedge against inflation.
At February 2022, net asset value of the fund stood at $141.71 billion, with total investment income at $10 billion. This financial year, the NIF will be activating plans to generate more income. This includes developing lands owned by the NIF in Clarendon into a government service center. $108 million is earmarked for pre-construction and professional services. The NIF has engaged state agencies for other developments in downtown Kingston, Morant Bay, and Port Antonio. Other investment opportunities have been earmarked to develop NIF lands in Portland, St. James, and St. Andrew.
The NIF will be spending approximately $30 million during fiscal year 22-23 to improve investment properties within the portfolio for compliance with the Disabilities Act and related building codes.
To enable a more efficient service, the NIS Kingston and St. Andrew office will be renovated at a cost of $221.5 million. The onset of COVID-19 has propelled the ministry to engage stakeholders on the need for an unemployment insurance. Minister Samuda says dialogue has begun with the International Labour Organization ILO, and the government is working assiduously to have an unemployment insurance that fits the Jamaican context.
I am looking forward to the day in the not too distant future when the announcements will be made by this administration that all workers in Jamaica have access to another benefit that underscores the importance of income security.
Beneficiaries of the Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH will see an increase in payments come June of this year. Cabinet recently approved an average increase of 18.26% or $1.4 billion for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Minister Samuda says the number of PATH beneficiaries receiving electronic payments will also be increased to 70%. Another significant increase to take place is the addition of 20,000 beneficiaries on the government's social pension program from the current 7,412.
The budget is in place to facilitate this uptake. We will also be rolling out the life certificate, which will, of course, confirm that the person receiving the benefit is still alive.
As the Disabilities Act comes into full effect, the government is moving to entrench legislation to ensure that the rights of persons with disabilities are protected.
As the financial year progresses, you will see more deliberate effort in the implementation of the Act. This will ensure greater equality of participation and non-discrimination in the areas of education, employment, health, and justice.
Government is the largest employer of the disabled. Minister Samuda urges employers to hire persons with disabilities.
As a society, we must do more to ensure that our brothers and sisters living with disabilities have greater access and are not underemployed or discriminated against in the workplace. And anywhere we find evidence and can successfully prove that evidence, we will be bringing the matter to court.
The ministry is working to have the Occupational Safety and Health Bill tabled in the House of Representatives this fiscal year.
The tabling of the enhanced bill will be accompanied by an extensive public education and awareness campaign spanning the length and breadth of Jamaica.
Meanwhile, amendments are being sought for 3 key pieces of legislation to ensure the protection and rights of all domestic workers. This is to give effect to the ratification of the International Labour Organization Domestic Workers Convention C-189. Compared to year 1 of the COVID-19 pandemic, the local labour market experienced a rebound in 2021. This was supported by a 7.1% decline in unemployment at the end of 2021 and a 6.6% increase in the employed labour force as at October 2021. Moving offshore, over 14,000 persons were placed in overseas employment in the last financial year. The ministry is working to increase this number by crafting a marketing strategy to target traditional and non-traditional jobs. It will deploy more liaison officers to engage overseas employers. Dialogue has also been had with employers to waive processing fees that will be recouped after employment. The ministry will improve the processing of work permits with the acquisition of a new web-based and mobile-friendly system. The work permit and skill certificate management system will cost approximately $875,000, with implementation projected for the end of the year. In the meantime, the Jamaica Productivity Center is in the final stages of attaining ISO 9001-2015 certification. Further to that, the National Policy on Productivity is being developed as a strategic tool to improve productivity. This will inculcate a culture that prioritizes productivity across various sectors of the economy.
It will also promote the manufacturing of higher value-added goods and services.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security, promoting productivity for growth, maintaining an effective and efficient labour market, while advocating and supporting social inclusion for all.